Welcome back, NicknLex here. Thank you so much for joining me today to this new episode of Music with Nick. I'm super excited. Look at this. I'm wearing my movie, not my movie shirt, but one of my movie shirts. And today we're going to do a marathon for JK of movie soundtracks. And John Williams is among these composers, and that's why I'm wearing my Star Wars shirt. I think you've seen me with this before. But I think that's the only one that I don't have, like Hitchcock or anything. I don't have shirts. I wish I had, or like Once Upon a Time in the West or stuff like that. Once Upon a Time in America. Maybe I should get some, but this is the one that I'm going to wear today. So yeah, I'm super excited. We got a marathon by JK, sponsored and directed, if I could say that. I mean, yes, he put it together, and it's super exciting. I'm super stoked about this one, because it has one of my favorite movies on here. So even though, yes, I'm familiar with the movies, it's a score, you don't. Sometimes they're very memorable, but sometimes not so much. And yes, we're going to do E.T. That one I do remember, but I've never really listened to it, like of course I've seen the movie and everyone has. But John Williams has a very particular style that's, I guess he uses a lot of the same because it works for the drama and for the moment. It's just like, it's a pattern that he uses, that just works for him very well. And that's why, when you listen to like Star Wars and Superman and E.T. or even Harry Potter, there's a lot of repeating notes. And they're his, they're his style, and it works. So it's just like every score. I think the score that has been the most different from his other work is Minority Report. It's an amazing score. Like, it's just very different. It's very dark and very dystopian, and it's very cool. But yeah, so just like his stuff in the 80s, and a lot of people were starting to copy him and stuff. So yeah, that just happens, I guess, But yeah, so we're gonna start it off with from the movie Out of Africa, I Had a Farm, the main title. And this is from John Barry. So I do want to pull up the email real quick that JK provided me with. It says here. Okay, so this is Emotional Movie Scores Marathon. Wow. Okay, so that's already like, okay, warning here, because I do get very emotional with emotional music. And yeah, it really happens quite a lot when I watch a movie that I'm just like gutted by the music, It's in the moment. It's just so perfect when the director uses the movie and like the scene and the music in that particular way, and it just clicks, and you're just like, oh my god, it just works. So it says Emotional Movie Scores Marathon. Nick, I wanted to provide something a little different for the channel. I do appreciate that very much. These are movie themes that never fail to make my eyes water. So be prepared. Oh my god. Okay. Especially the first and last ones from the master of tear-jerking movie music, John Barry. I've never heard of him. And he's the same guy who created the James Bond theme. Oh, wow. Okay. Here's how to find them on Spotify. And thank you for providing me with the list. So we're going to start it off with the main theme from I Had a Farm in Africa by John Barry, from the movie Out of Africa. And let's see. I just want to see what year this was. Composed 1997. Okay, cool. Wow. Then the mighty and amazing Ennio Morricone, which I love. Once Upon a Time in the West. I think I've seen that movie once when I first got a hold of, I think that was 2005. I think I bought my first DVD player, and I got that movie. It was amongst the ones that were available and not too expensive, because DVDs are so expensive in Mexico. So I think I heard that, that, oh my god, I do remember that theme, but I've never really heard it with in this setting, headphones, attention. I was more worried about the person getting hung. At the beginning of the movie. Charles Bronson, I think, was in it, and then also the guy from 12 Angry Men. I can't remember his name right now, but amazing actor. His eyes, those blue eyes were like so scary in that movie. So The Godfather, of course, we've seen The Godfather many times. Alexia and I, we love that trilogy. I mean, 1 and 2 are the best. The third one is okay, but that scene at the end, where his spoiler alert, okay, if you haven't seen The Godfather, which you should have, because the third one came out before Alexia was born, so you should have watched it. If you haven't, I'm sorry, I'm gonna spoil it. But when his daughter gets shot, that expression on Al Pacino's face, like that scream, and you don't hear the scream, you just see his face. That is like perfect. The direction of that scene was just, yeah. I was devastated. I was devastated. So flying theme from ET. It's so funny, but I've only watched ET twice in my entire life. I don't know why. When I was very, very young, I watched it, and then I just recently watched it. Let's say 2 years ago. So I've heard the theme, the flying theme from ET by John Williams. But hey, let's analyze it and let's listen to it. And then the last one here, Somewhere in Time by John Barry, from the first track. So Somewhere in Time, I've seen that cover. I know what's his name is on it. The amazing actor that played Superman, the 80s, 70s, and 80s Superman. Let's see, what's his name? Because he's even in the last Flash movie, Superman. Let's see, 78. Christopher Reeve, yeah, he was like the original Superman, and I love that they brought him back for just. If you haven't seen the movie Flash, I really don't recommend it. It's not a good movie. But it has like all these time now. Everything has like a different like timeline. Like this is like the new thing, That's how they can rehash old stuff. But it's kind of like the last scene in the movie when Flash like does all these time loops. You see all these alternate universes. You see Christopher Reeve Superman and Superwoman, and you see what was it? You see Michael Keaton's, of course, Batman. You see George Clooney's Batman. It's all these like the Superman movie that never made it with Nicolas Cage. You see that he has all these different like what could have been, all these like maybe it did happen, but the one that the recent one, you see the Zack Snyder Superman, and it's all these like different scenes. It's I guess it's an entertaining movie, but I wouldn't recommend it. It's just not that good, I wanted to love it because they go back to Michael Keaton's mansion, like Tim Burton style, and Michael Keaton obviously sells it. He's an amazing actor, I love him to death, and he's like still my favorite Batman. And Christopher, I think Christian Bale is also amazing, but yeah. Another movie that I would like to recommend now that I'm talking about movies for 8 minutes straight, 9 minutes, here we go, is Dune. Please watch Dune 2, part 2. If you haven't watched part 1, please watch it. But Dune 2, don't wait for it to be on Max or Netflix. Watch it in the theater. It's like watching the Twin Towers. It's like the Lord of the Rings of this time. The score is just amazing. The sound, we were literally like it felt like an earthquake. Sometimes, when a sandworm was approaching or something was happening, watch it in Dolby. It's gonna blow you away. It's like those are the movies that movie theaters are created for. So yeah, watch that. Okay, so let's go with John Barry, Out of Africa. Thank you so much. Sorry for the long introduction, but hey, we're talking movies here, so it says on the NicknLex, it says movies and music. So We originally wanted to do like a movies channel, you know. So okay, here we go. I Had a Farm by John Barry. Wow. Right. Wow. Amazing, amazing music. I love that part that no, it was no, I can't sing it. I have to listen to it more. Da dee da 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 like that. Oh my god, that's so good. I love the like how he started out like very simple with like I think trumpets. I don't really know the difference between trumpets and French horns, you know, until I do it here. My ears, I guess, not that trained yet, you know. But I mean, it does sound very different. So I think those were trumpets, and then you know the strings, and then I love how the oboe kicks in to like kind of like settle it down. Beautiful, beautiful melody. It was all about the melody, and I could see the scenery. I don't even, you know, I don't know if I have seen the movie, you know, because I'm confusing it with I think The King and I or something, the cover. But I can picture myself, you know, like if they use this music with the right scene and maybe the right dialogue that I could like I would not be able to hold it in, you know. Yeah. The score music is like the music I think that makes me, you know, yeah, and I'm not saying crying, like it's overwhelmingly beautiful, and just like it does something to your body where you just cry. It's not sadness, it's like just this joy, overwhelming joy of something. Yeah, sometimes it's sad, that there could be something. I mean, I've seen some movies that just devastated me, like Schindler's List, and then you hear the music, and it's just like, my God, you just lose it, because it's just too much. Saving Private Ryan, the same, I can't watch that movie. It's like those kids, at the beach, losing their lives like in instant. And it's just like the last time Alexia and I we watched it, and I was having like a anxiety attack. I was like, I can't watch this. It's just too much, man. I remember watching it when I was younger, and it was like, okay, it's action, but now I think about these people and these boys, 17, 18, 19-year-old kids getting slaughtered. It's just too much. I can't do it. I really would love to watch the movie, but I would have to skip that part, at least that, because the rest of the movie is more like, you know, there a lot of talking and walking, and yes, there's some really crazy stuff going on, but it's a tough one. It's a tough watch. Steven Spielberg, man, like I like him more like with Indiana Jones and his other stuff, but those war movies are very very strong. Very 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 tough. Like The Pianist as well. But I mean, that's Roman Polanski. That score, I mean, it's all Chopin, and then I don't know who wrote the score, but beautiful. Okay, so Ennio Morricone, one of my favorite composers. I mean, I think I would say, yeah, John Williams, and then Ennio Morricone, Hans Zimmer. Oh my God, Hans Zimmer. He's just like, he's killing it, and right now in Hollywood, he's like the new go-to. I think everybody, because you never know what you expect. He uses so much, like, I don't know, like his music is just I don't even know how to describe it. I mean, he's done movies for Gladiator and Dune and Batman, and it's always something completely different, something you don't expect. Like Black Hawk Down is beautiful, has so many instruments that are like string instruments. He always uses something that is. He even said it in his masterclass. I don't know how your movie's gonna sound like. I have no idea. Like, you're hiring me, I'm just letting you know right now. I have no idea what I'm doing. But he just then comes out with this amazing score. So even in movies like As Good as It Gets, he did the score for that. And I love that score. Or he did True Romance. It's basically just like, it sounds like some calypso music, but it's, in the end, it works. It works so well. Yeah, that's Hans Zimmer. So, but now we're gonna talk about Ennio Morricone, who we just lost a couple of years ago, and what an amazing, film composer. I mean, and then even Quentin Tarantino has used him countless times. He's just so epic. So let's give it up for Once Upon a Time in the West. I mean, there's even a movie called Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Sergio Leone and Ennio Morricone inspired this man, obviously, very, very, very much. So here we go with Once Upon a Time in the West. Okay, I don't know this. Wow. Wow. Okay. So I did not expect this. I swear I was like, I'm not gonna shed a tear in this video. But man, this is, I was not prepared. I thought we're gonna hear the dun 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 dun. I just know that it has that kind of like very ambiguous, but this I don't remember the movie. I think it's 5 hours long. That was, wow. I can't believe this. This is so good. But I think you know what got me was the voice, the high pitched voices, even in the video that Alexa and I did. What's it? Wait. Wow, this was something. Yeah, I'm talking about Joni Mitchell because I was just watching Joni Mitchell. That Joni Mitchell reaction, the "A Case of You," when she sings, you know, "Oh Canada," oh, you know, like I can't, I can't. It's like I lose it. Wow, this was beautiful. Like wow, crazy. Ah man, what a composer and what a loss. It's also, I think that got me right now. You know, thinking that, you know, he's no longer with us, and what a composer. There's other composers that I love. Uh, what's his name? Bernard Herrmann. Oh my god. And then of course, like I just did a reaction to Gustav Holst, and that was just, oh my god, what a composer. And I guess so many people, you know, got inspired. Of course, John Williams got inspired, and yeah, I mean, film music is so powerful, man. Oh boy. Okay, okay. So now the Godfather finale. So I think, I don't know if it's the first Godfather, and that one we have seen quite a lot. But let me see. As long as it's not the theme, you know, I haven't really paid a lot of attention to the music. I guess I do when I watch the film, but not really like that I go out of my way and listen to it. But let's see. Let's give it up here for Nino Rota. Wait. Here it is. Wow, that just blew my socks away. That Ennio. Let's see. Give me a second. Okay. So this is by Nino Rota. Nino Rota. Okay, yeah, that's it. I thought there was more. Carlo Savina. Okay. I've never heard of them, so I'm happy to, you know, learn something new. Here we go with the Godfather finale. Wow. A feeling. So good. Wow, that was. Oh God. I do remember it. The da da dee da da dee da 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 dee da. You know, of course, but this had like this was like in a roller coaster. You know, it started off with um, I guess. Oh my god, I that's why I want to sometimes pause, but I love the mandolin. You know the doing the tremolo because the notes are so short. You know, it's like a ping. That's the you don't have a string. You know where you can, but all the instruments being used here and the harps and the boom 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 boom, everything that was added so beautifully to give you the chorus. I think I heard a chorus, and then it goes just so high up into the stratosphere. You know, so sentimental, and never really like heard this version, but oh my god, it has like the theme, but also the in between. We're just fans, you know. I remember back in like 2007 or something, I had a PC game called The Godfather, and it was based on the first movie, and it was amazing. It played a little bit like the. I don't know if you ever played those games. I know a lot of you people, you know, don't play video games because it's just not your time, and I totally understand, you know. But there's some really cool stuff that's very it's very interactive. It's like basically watching a movie that you can steer and stuff. Um and It plays like the mafia games, you know, you run around and you drive a car and then you go and you pretty much like have your missions of like, you know, eliminate this guy or, you know, go into this like stronghold, you know, and wipe it out. And so, you know, and really didn't have that amazing graphics, but it was the music was there. It had the music of the original film, and I think it had some voice actors from the original cast. It was just very cool. And I just recently bought a board game from The Godfather, like a card game, and but you need 3 players. I thought it was 2 players, and I bought it for me and Alexia. So we haven't been able to play it because it's 3 players, but it's a board game. It's like almost like Clue, you know, like that kind of deal. So yeah, this was wonderful, beautiful. Thank you so much, JK. Man, so far, wow. I mean, John Barry, I can't wait to listen to that again because it was such a complex composition, but so full of like so many. I don't want to say the words, but there's a lot of, for me, a lot of scales, or not the scales because it's not scales, but the composition. Sometimes the way they right. It's like it's almost like a story that you can hear, and it's almost like somebody is talking. Like a lot of music that I hear, like I can interpret like a little bit like his words, even though it's not like a language, but music is a language. It is a language, and it's just when there's a lot of stuff going on and the way he wrote the theme, John Barry, there's a lot of longing and a lot of say in there. I just want to listen to it again. But also the Godfather theme, I mean, that's more like a theme, and it repeats in different ways and with different instruments, but also the way it connects in the end is just wonderful. And then Ennio Morricone, let's not even go there. That was amazing. So now John Williams, I mean, one of our, he was again nominated for the Oscar, but I guess he has been nominated like over 90 times now, or 100. I guess every movie that he ever scores, he gets an Oscar nomination. I mean, he's a living legend. The last Indiana Jones movie got nominated for Best Music, but it didn't win. What won? I think. Who was? Oh yeah, that younger guy. He wrote the music for Oppenheimer, and he won Best Music. And that guy also wrote some Star Wars, but for The Mandalorian, so he won. I think that's the guy. He won that. He wrote that theme. But yeah, just the last couple of Oscars we've been watching, it's like he's always nominated, but he never wins, because I guess it's Indiana Jones. It's now the fifth movie. I haven't watched it, but I guess it's the same score, but a little bit of tweaking here and there, but it's amazing. Okay, here we go with the amazing John Williams, the flying theme from E.T. Here you go. Wow. What a master. I love it. You know what this reminds me of so much of his. That's what I'm saying. I think when he wrote this, he was still. This was in 1982. So the last score I think that he had written, but I'm not sure. Like I'm not an expert, but it sounds very much like the score from some of the parts of in Empire Strikes Back. Like listen to the Cloud City theme and listen to like just I would love to do it, but I don't want to, interrupt, JK's marathon. But it sounds like it has like this air feeling, like the flying, the way he writes, and it works like this. It sounds literally like it sounds flying, like flying. And when they're in the Cloud City, on Bespin, it sounds also like this wind. There's a lot of air, notes are flying. So make that comparison. Listen to the E.T. theme and then listen to, let me see which one I'm talking about, because I had that album. I had all the Star Wars CDs. So I was pretty much, those I would listen to, literally just for the sake of listening to them, So Empire Strikes Back. So the ones that I mean is, let's see. Dun dun dum bum 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 the asteroid field. No, but I'm the City in the Clouds. Listen to that, City in the Clouds, and I think that's it. Lando's, maybe Lando's Palace. Yeah, but anything else, it would be just Imperial March and bum rum bum rum bumps bum rum bum rum bumps. When the AT-ATs attack on Hoth, so epic. The whole thing, but I think the score that I love the most is the Return of the Jedi score. Oh my god. I can sing that whole CD literally. Like I can whistle it by memory. Okay, yeah, John Williams is just a legend, and he will always be. I mean, all these people will be remembered. Look, Ennio Morricone. That's from. His movies are way older than Steven Spielberg and George Lucas, but yeah, I mean, I can only imagine in 100 years when people listen to John Williams, like wow, this guy, like they will see. But yeah, okay, so now we're gonna do another one from Somewhere in Time, and I really want to watch that movie now, of course. But I think I've seen the cover, like when you could still go and rent movies, Blockbuster. And we just talked about this yesterday, I think, in our full album, the Beach Boys. But we loved that, when you could go and just browse and spend an hour or two looking at movies, That was such a great time. I mean, you can still do that, but you're on your couch and you're scrolling through, It was just exciting to grab the CD or the VHS and, turn it around and look at it. And, yeah. And then behind it was the copy that you could take, so cool. So I've seen that, like just walking by, and I would see Christopher Reeves, but it never really got my attention. Somewhere in Time. And Somewhere in Time, it's so cool because Iron Maiden, Somewhere in Time, that's one of my favorite albums, And it's not about the movie. It's not. It's a time traveler that is caught somewhere in time. Okay. All right. So here goes John Barry, Somewhere in Time. Thank you so much again, JK. This is wonderful. I wish I have a marathon myself that I still have to record. and it's called I themed it and everything. It took me a lot of time to get 5 songs together and that flow and everything. And I call it music from another world. And I don't want to spoil it, but it's basically all, very sci-fi and very, and I also wanted it to sound a little bit out of this world, So we'll do that soon when I have the time. Okay, here we go. Wow. That switch to the piano. Wow. Like I love the how unpredictable it sounds. It reminded me more of Ennio, because of the flute, I guess, and the orchestration just feels different. Like I don't know, it's very beautiful. I can't believe it. Like, oh man, it's just so wonderful, to talk about this kind of music because I don't know, I'm just a fan of instrumental music. I've always been way more fascinated by music without lyrics. I guess since I was a kid, and today is a great day because I talked to my mom and she was super happy to hear from us, and she's always so positive, and I today I was like, hey, I just wanted to thank you, Mom, for for showing me all this awesome music. Because she's like, oh, I see, you post more of your videos, and she doesn't really know what's going on with this. She doesn't really know what. She just knows it's her son, who's talking. Like, she doesn't really know why, and I think she doesn't understand the concept, of this, and And then she was like, and she's like, I asked her, are you listening to any music? Anything, from the stuff that you showed me? And I was like, I want to thank you. And I've never said this, today it happened. I was like, I really want to thank you, Mom, for showing me all this great music and making me into this musician that I am. And, that it was very easy for me to like hear music and transcribe it to the guitar or on paper, because I guess I listened to it so early, so young, classical music. And today I told her, thank you for showing me Led Zeppelin, when I was like 4. She's like, yeah, of course, and then, and also the Moody Blues, you showed me that, and Iron Butterfly and Uriah Heep, and then Pink Floyd, but that was her music, and what was it, Paul Simon and Sting and Sade, and she had stuff like that in the car. But it was also like there was not all this other music that we've learned about on the channel. She didn't listen to Rush or Yes or Genesis or like King Crimson. Neither my father didn't listen to it either. My dad was more like a jazz guy. He listened only to jazz. So rock was like, he's like, I don't really like rock anymore. I used to, So yeah, so that's why I was kind of like deprived of a lot of music as well. But at least I want to thank her for playing me the basics, like the Led Zeppelin. Everybody knows Led Zeppelin. But yeah, when we went to Spain, we played Yes, we played Genesis, we played Steely Dan for her, and she was like, "What is this? This is amazing," So, but yeah, it was a great day, and I told her, why don't you ever turn on your phone, because I have to call her, like she lives in a home, so if I don't call her, I can't talk to her, and she does have a phone with internet, and she doesn't use it. She says she doesn't know how. And today she called Alexia. I can't believe it. She called Alexia like over. It's an app like Messenger, like Facebook Messenger, where you can like call, with internet. And she did it, and we were so happy. And she she was talking in German at first with Alexia, and Alexia's like, "Yeah, okay, yeah, wie geht's?" And then she's like, "Oh, Alexia," and then she speaks, of course, English. My mom. So they had an amazing discussion. Just beautiful day. So, and now this is even like gorgeous. Thank you, Jake. It was beautiful. So now I can go on with my day and be very happy. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching this. This was amazing. So I guess Ennio was the one that did it. I guess the Italian in me, like caved to the other Italian. But yeah, thank you so much, Jake, for doing this, for sponsoring this video. Everybody, thank you for watching, for enjoying this. Leave a comment if you like the video so it gets exposed to more people. Share it if you want to, subscribe to the channel, all this good stuff. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next one.